Step right up, dummies, and listen to the stupidest sports show on earth with Rodney Newpol and Tim Van Stratton. Yeah. Well, hello, dummies, and welcome to episode number 73 of the stupidest sports show on earth. My name, as you all know, is Tim, the Big Easy Van Stratton. Alongside me is Rodney Newpol, back in his office. He has escaped the pearly gates of heaven where he did the show Friday, and he's back to a normal earthly scene for tonight's show. Rodney, happy Tuesday. How are you?
What's going on, man? What a wonderful evening it is, and the sports. I don't know. Sports are. I have a problem with the, and I know the NBA and the NHL aren't coordinated together, but like, why are we having nights with neither? I'm just,
Totally agree.
I'm baffled by this. And why do we need 2 days off all the time? I'm okay with 2 days off if it's a travel situation, but like if you're staying in a city, take the day off, play the next day. I'm not okay with this. Multiple nights off in June here. It's not cool. Not cool. And the WNBA can only do so much for me. The U.S. Open coming up here soon, but can't get here fast enough with these nights off.
Yeah, hasn't always been that way where there was an additional night off if they weren't traveling. I understand the 2 days in between for the NBA. You're going from OKC to Indiana for game 3, but we don't need 2 days in between if both games are in Oklahoma City. I feel like it hasn't always been that, or maybe it has, and now we're looking for things to complain about more, which is possible.
It's possible. No, it's possible. As we get older, it's the old men get off our lawn situation. But no, I don't feel like it. I feel like it's play, take a night off, play. Now move to the next city, maybe take 2 nights off, but then you play, take a night off and play. But like, yeah, I mean, so when they're in Indiana, it is just 1 night off. And then they do take 2 nights before they go back to Oklahoma City for game 5. But like, what are we doing with no NHL? I know they played last night, but they are going Monday to Thursday, so they don't have to take a night. I mean, what are they taking the extra night off for? But I know they're traveling, but I just, it doesn't seem to make sense for me.
I pulled up a random NBA Finals 2013 Heat Spurs, right? It was a good final. Game 1 was June 6th in Miami. Game 2 was June 9th in Miami. So they did have a couple days off. But then they only had 1 day in between for game 3. So they had 2 games in between for both games in Miami. But then game 3, they only had a day in between to go to San Antonio. And then 1 day off. Then June 13th, San Antonio. Then 2 days off, June 16th, again in San Antonio. But then 2 days later, Miami. 2 days later, Miami. So that was a weird series. So they've sort of been all over. They've been all over the place. But like they went game 6 to game 7, only 1 day in between, and they were in Miami for both of them. So like it's weird.
Yeah,
I prefer that. I prefer that clearly over what they're doing now, which is no matter what, you get multiple days off in between.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned this earlier, maybe the last show. The NBA Finals Game 7 is not until June 22nd. We're still 12 days away from maybe deciding this series because, I mean, all indications are this is very possible it could go 7. Will it? I don't know. I mean, Oklahoma City could win these next 3, or Indianapolis could win these next 3. But, yeah, Game 7 is June 22nd, 12 days away. And then the draft is June 25th. I think that might be part of it. Like, they don't want to be out of the news cycle. Like the NBA is like, no, we need to stay in the news cycle. They're going to go all the way till July here, but seems to be too long.
It's a weird thing because I understand why they want to remain relevant as long as possible, but I also feel like the longer it drags on, the less people are going to be interested in it. Like the long time between the conference finals and the NBA finals, by the time the NBA finals got here, it's like, oh. It's kind of what I always talk about with the NCAA tournament as well, where it's such a mad dash right away. Then by the time you get to the end of it, it's like, oh, you got a whole week off until the Final Four. Then you kind of forget. And I think the college football playoff, we saw some of that too, where the long layover between the end of the regular season and then what ended up being the national championship. It's a long time that you're waiting for all of that to unfold. So yeah, I'm with you. I'd rather it all just be done as soon as possible while you're sort of still in the zone. Like, I'm in the
Yeah.
NBA playoff zone. Don't take me out of the zone. And I feel
Yeah.
like people are going to leave the zone.
No, I think you're 100% right. You got a right take there. And summer nights are hard anyway for viewing.
Yeah.
Like, we've already seen the viewings down. I think summer is just difficult. And like, if you're not an Oklahoma City or an Indiana fan, you better be a pretty diehard NBA fan to like make this appointment TV. It's been a good series. It's going to be a good series.
Yeah.
But it's just not going to. I mean, we knew this when we knew these two teams were coming.
Yeah.
Like, we needed the Knicks for more viewers. We
Yeah.
probably needed Minnesota for more. I don't know. Minnesota, Oklahoma City. I mean, I don't know which would have drew better there, but we needed the Knicks if we wanted better TV viewers.
Oh, absolutely. But you know what? I don't care about the viewers. I said after game one, I hope all of the people who decided to not watch the NBA Finals for whatever reason because small market, I hope they had a miserable time because game one was incredible. Obviously, you and I talked a lot about that on Friday. Game two didn't have the dramatics. It was more OKC taking care of business. Real quick, so Thunder, obviously, they bounce back. They get a big win, 123-107. The series is now tied up at 1. Indiana did their job by stealing a game in OKC. And now they're going to go back home to Indianapolis, where they've played very well this postseason, obviously. Was there anything in game 2 that you saw from either side that has you feeling differently? Because on Friday, correct me if I'm wrong here, on Friday, you said that you were taking this series from 5 games to 7 games. Are you still at that point right now? Or have you brought it back down to 6?
I mean, that's a great question, and it could go down to 6 because I do think Indiana is going to get one of these next 2, but I do think the Thunder are going to win this series. So, like, I mean, if I'm allowed to continue to change my prediction, yeah, I'm probably going Oklahoma City in 6 at this point. I think Oklahoma City's better, but I think the Pacers are good enough to still get one of these next 2. Yeah, I mean, if you're allowing me to change my prediction, yeah, I'll go Thunder in 6.
So SGA had another big game, 34 points, 8 assists. He was 11 of 21 from the field. Much more efficient, clearly, than he was in game 1. Game 1, he took 30 shots, so didn't need to shoot as well. But Caruso's had a really good series for them. Plays a ton. Aaron Wiggins had a really good game 1. So we saw better performances from some of those OKC depth guys than we did in game 1. Jalen Williams was much better. I thought Chet Holmgren was much better after having a terrible game 1. Game 2, for Indiana on the other side, it's so funny because the Pacers in game 1 had all these guys that had double-digit scoring, but no one scored 20 points. Game 2 rolls around, it's the exact same thing. They had 7 guys who all scored between 11 points and 17 points. No one scored above that, though. It was the exact same thing. They shot the ball not terribly, maybe a little worse from 3, but it's not like they couldn't hit anything. Right. It just, the difference was, I think OKC was just able to go on those runs that they weren't able to go on in the first game. And it was somewhat close. And then, what was it, second quarter where OKC went on a huge run, and at one point it got to like 52-29. Yeah. In the blink of an eye, it felt like. And at that point, it's like, okay, this is the series that we all sort of expected to see happen.
Yeah, 59-41 at halftime. And, you know, we threw out there what is the number that you have to comfortably be ahead. I mean, that's 18, so not still overly comfortable, but, I mean, it never really felt like Indiana was going to get back in that game. I mean, they maybe flirted with a run or two, but I mean, to me, if Oklahoma City can just continue to score, and I know that sounds easy. It's not like hot take city here. Score points, you're going to win. But like, if they just don't go through scoring droughts, because I don't think Indiana can guard them when they're playing their best. I mean, they scored 123 in this one. I just think Oklahoma City's offense is better. And if they just don't go through big scoring droughts, I do think the Thunder will continue to win these games and win this series.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. And OKC was able to draw more contact, get more fouls. Yeah. They got to the line for 33 shots. And, and it's not like Indiana isn't doing the same thing. Indiana had 26 free throw attempts. Like Siakam was 8 for 9 from the stripe. So it's not like this is a huge lopsided thing. Like we've said from the beginning, these two teams play a very similar style. OKC is just a little better at it. They just got better players. But yeah, I think we're going to see two pretty close games, games 3 and 4 here. Tomorrow night, OKC is the favorite. They're going to be a favorite every game, I would imagine. But it's 5.5 points. 5.5 points on the road. I don't know what your initial lean is right there at that number. I kind of like the Pacers at that number, even if I think OKC maybe hangs on and gets a 3-4 point win.
Yeah, no, I'm probably with you here. 5.5 seems like a lot. Indiana has shown that they can play close games. I'm looking at their last several home games. They beat the Knicks by 17. They beat the Knicks by 9. They lost by 6 to the Knicks. Against the Cavaliers, they won by 20, lost by 22. So they were blown out once. Beat the Bucks by 1, beat the Bucks by 8, and beat the Bucks by 19. So overall, have been pretty good at home in this postseason and have played for the most part either won or been competitive. So yeah, I mean, 5.5, 6 points seems like a lot. I would probably take the Pacers plus 5.5 if I was betting. And let me just give about 30 seconds here. FanDuel and DraftKings are going to start charging us 50 cents a bet. Yeah. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Quit doing it. It's robbery. It's absolute robbery. Knock it off. So ridiculous.
So as someone who is in that sort of industry, what's sort of the basis of that? Is it just because of the increased taxes? So they're trying to sort of make their money back that way?
Yeah, they're putting it on the consumer. What are they doing? They're not going to make as much. So how are they going to get the money back? They want to make us pay it, which is how corporate world works. I understand it. It's how the whole world works. Like, oh, we have to pay more, so you're going to pay more. But like, come on, 50. Yes, that is what it is. The taxes here in the state of Illinois, which we don't even need to get into that conversation because it's opening up a whole new can of worms. But ridiculous. DraftKings, FanDuel, 50 cents a bet. So stupid.
I saw that FanDuel is going to I don't know. There's some type of like responses. I feel like we've seen this happen before, or it's been announced before, and then they're like, just kidding, we're not going to do that. So do we think it's going to happen? I don't know.
Yes, I do.
You do? You think it's finally time?
I do. I did. The laws have passed. I do think so. They're very adamant about getting this done, and it's so ridiculous. Like, just leave it alone. Like, you're making hand over fist. I know they are. They're going to go out there and say we're actually not making that much money. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And if you aren't, just wait till football season, and then you will. We'll see 38 commercials per quarter in the NFL, and you'll do just fine.
It's impossible to feel bad for the sports books when they have an advertising budget that's seemingly endless. They're able to sponsor every single betting segment on television. They're able to pay Kevin Hart to do their commercials. Like, it's not going to feel bad for you. Anyway, so official game 3 prediction. Who are you taking here?
I'll go OKC 120 to 115.
Okay. So right at that 5.5 number.
Yeah. 120, 115 Thunder.
I will take the Thunder as well. I think it's going to be a little bit lower scoring than you, but I'll go 111 to 107.
4-point game.
4 points. So I think it'll be close. I do. And I'm hoping it is. And I hope that it's not like the type of close that game 1 was, where it was not close and then randomly incredibly close at the end. Like, I want to see a nice back and forth the entire game, just to see how both teams respond in that type of situation.
I'm with you.
Okay, so breaking news. Last night in Sunrise, Florida, there was a fight that happened, and at some point, a hockey game broke out during this fight. You don't really see you don't really see line brawls in the Stanley Cup final.
Right.
Not normally. What was the final tally yesterday? So the Panthers took game 3, 6-1.
Yeah.
It's now a 2-1 series lead. The total penalties, so Edmonton received 21 penalties for 85 minutes. Florida had 14 penalties for 55 minutes. So that's 140 minutes of penalties in yesterday's game.
That's wild.
There was at one point in the third quarter, there's about 9 minutes left, where all 5 players on each team were engaged in a fight. There were 10. There were 5 fights happening all at once.
So a couple things here. First of all, it did not go to overtime.
It did not. So I'm sorry. You were feeling great after game 2, and I was like, my God,
I mean, feel
Rodney's a
better.
prophet. Yeah.
I mean, feel better. Yeah, I got one right. Number 2 question is, so what happens tomorrow night? Right? Like, obviously there's some bad blood here. So now what are we going to see?
Yeah.
But each coach is starting to talk about, hey, we can't take stupid penalties. We gotta, we gotta be smarter, bait them into penalties, but not take them ourselves. Like, what are we going to see in game 4? Are we going to see more? I'll just use fisticuffs. Are we going to see Donnie Brooks, or what's going to happen here?
You'll see some shoves. You'll see some stuff after the whistle, but that's like super common. I would be shocked though if this, if game 3 was a sign of things to come, as opposed to what I think it is, which is just things got out of hand. It was a blowout, and the Oilers got to a point where they're like, hey, we're not going to win this game. Let's just try to ruffle some feathers. Panthers were like, hey, you know what? We might as well just go ahead, indulge you a little bit, and stuff just went off the rails. I think game 4, you'll see something that's a lot more in line with the first 2 games of this series. Although clearly there's no love lost.
No,
clearly there's no love lost with these teams at all. So they're going to be playing super aggressive. They're going to be going very hard. I mean, McDavid took a huge open ice hit, had to leave for a brief period in the game. That obviously is something that Edmonton is really going to be looking out for in game 4 to make sure that nothing happens to him. And the second that you do see some rough play around their star, then I think you'll see Edmonton retaliate a little bit. But again, not to the extent of 85 penalty minutes that we saw yesterday.
How about Brad Marchand already? He's got 8 postseason goals. He's been a massive pickup for them. Your boy Scory Perry has 9 in the postseason, and then Sam Bennett's got 14. He's got 14 already. So there are some guys that are putting themselves in a nice position to make some money. Brad Marsh, all 3 of those guys are free agents. I mean, obviously Corey Perry's 40. He's looking at a 1-year deal if he does decide to continue playing. But Brad Marchand has had an excellent postseason. I think he's still a really good player. Maybe not a MVP caliber player, but Brad Marchand could probably get a 3-4 year deal from somewhere. And people are now talking about Sam Bennett as someone who could potentially, I mean, he only had 51 points in the regular season. Like, he's not a huge scorer, but he's the perfect postseason player, like the exact type of player that you want in the playoffs. And people are talking about him making $9-10 million a year for this next contract, which is absurd. Like 25 goal scorers making $10 million a year. It could happen. So just because of this postseason, just how incredible he's been, and the last couple, I should say. So it's really incredible how Florida is able to get contributions. One of the reasons I didn't pick them to win is because I was like, well, Chuck's not really giving them too much. Barkov isn't really lighting it up. They needed more from their role players, and that's exactly what they're getting. Right.
It just shows their depth, which was their huge advantage over Edmonton in the first place. Because if Edmonton doesn't get anything from McDavid and Draisaitl, they're going to lose every game.
Yeah. I know your next question here. Panthers repeat incoming. I mean, I think so. I've said this. I mean, this was my pick from the beginning. But after game 1, I think they've kind of flexed their muscle. Although I can't really say that because game 2 could have gone either way. And then we're talking about an entirely different series here. But yes. I think the Panthers win game 3. Game 4. I'll give Edmonton game 5. I'll go Panthers in 6. I'll stick with both series going 6 now. It's a floating prediction, right? Like that's what happens. You get to float your prediction. I'll go Panthers.
Predictions are fluid for sure. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, I'm still going to take Edmonton. They came back for 3-0 last year to force a game 7. I'm not going to count them out. What concerns me though a little bit is both games in Edmonton required Edmonton comebacks.
Right.
And you know, they won those games, or at least game 1 in overtime. But you know, overtime is something where you never know what can happen. It could go either way, just like we saw in game 2. In game 2, there wouldn't be an overtime if not for Corey Perry scoring a goal with 18 seconds left. So I think the Oilers really need to try to put the pressure on Florida and say, hey, you got, how about this? How about this, Panthers? We're going to have the lead after 2 periods. You try to take it from us.
Right.
And not get the Panthers. Because like the Panthers, the last 3 years, every single time they've had a lead after 2 periods, they don't give it up. They don't. The first loss that they've ever had in the playoffs under Paul Maurice after leading in the first period or second period was game 1. That's it. That was their first loss they've suffered. So like this team doesn't lose if you give them a lead. So the Oilers need to have these incredibly hot start and put the pressure on Florida and say, hey, we're going to make you play our game for a change if you want to try to come back against us. So until that happens though, then obviously the Panthers are going to be in the driver's seat.
Dan says, I can't remember the last time I saw a team as physically and mentally dominated in the Stanley Cup Finals as the Oilers were last night. Even last year, there wasn't as much loss of composure as in Game 3. Yeah, I mean, that's Edmonton's got his, he says soul searching. They've got to figure it out here and got to figure it out quick because you lose this one in Sunrise and go down 3-1. Yes, anything could happen, but your chances are pretty slim. You're going to beat them 3 in a row. So big one tomorrow night, Game 4. I mean, the fan. I mean, I don't know. Like Sunrise, I guess is kind of figured out. They're pretty probably fair weather because they've been really good. They'll have 19,000 there, but it'll be loud and rowdy.
Yeah, it's going to be a great crowd. I don't know why people think it's just not going to be a good crowd. They're the defending Stanley Cup champions.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It's going to be a great crowd. It's just Edmonton is just it's Canada. People are insane there. But like it's gonna be a good crowd. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah,
it's not like people just show up. Is there any NHL franchise right now where if they hosted a Stanley Cup final game, you think they would not sell it out, or you think the crowd would be underwhelming? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. No, I mean, if your team's in the Stanley Cup final, you're probably selling the arena out. You should. Yeah. It makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm with you.
Yeah. Dan saying Winnipeg. Whoa, oh, stop. I don't think so.
They'll fill out. They filled it for the Blue Series round 1.
Yeah. I watched that series. Winnipeg, that environment was amazing. That was a great home ice advantage that the Jets had. They famously could only win at home. Yeah. During their postseason.
Dan's hating on the Jets.
I think he is. I think he is too. I think he is. Yeah. All right. Any final Stanley Cup thoughts before we keep it rolling here?
No, Ice Cats in 6 for me.
All right. Come on, McDavid. Make it happen. I'm sick of Corey Perry being on the losing end of all these cups. Thank God that he has that Stanley Cup at Anaheim from 2007. Because if not, then the last 5 years of Corey Perry's career would be just a nightmare. And they've already, I'm sure he's already just hated how it's gone. But like, come on, guys. Just get him a second one. Get him a second one. All right. So last week we decided to do a fun thing on the Stupidest Sports Show where we decided to do a little blind ranking surprises where I had Rodney give his rankings of 10 NFL head coaches. I gave them to him in random order. He had to pick between 1 and 10 where he would slot them without knowing who was next. And then on Friday, he did the same thing to me, except with NBA head coaches. And in case you missed that, Rodney was able to fetch the papers, and we're going to compare to see how we did on these lists. I wrote down what I had for the NBA. I really think I could not have done any better. I really believe that.
Yeah. So we'll start with you. We'll start with the NBA recap here. So here's your list, and I think it'd probably be easier if we go 10-1. That way you can kind of judge in order from there. So number 10 on your list was Chauncey Billups of the Portland Trailblazers.
That's not true. Not true. Not true.
Oh no, you put him at 9. Okay, that was the 10th guy. Yeah, no, okay, I messed it up. Number 10 was Thomas Iasola from the Memphis Grizzlies.
I had no idea who he is. Obvious 10.
Only been there a couple weeks. Great choice at 10. Number 9 then was Chauncey Billups of the Portland Trailblazers. A good player, potential to be a good head coach, but not yet. And with Portland, has not shown any ability to do anything special yet. So number 9. Number 8, you got your Los Angeles Lakers head coach, JJ Redick, also good player, also potential to be a good coach.
Purely based off of experience, is there at 8. But I think JJ is going to rise. A year from now, he will be higher than 8 if you blind rank me again.
And I'm good with him over Chauncey and Thomas Iasola. 10's a perfect one. You nailed 10. I think you've nailed 9. We'll see about 8. Redick is there. So 7 was Quinn Snyder. Yeah, I mean, Quinn Snyder's got more experience than JJ Redick. I can't say he's been elite in Atlanta.
Has he won a title as a head coach? No, I assume maybe as an assistant somewhere. Like, he's a respected coach. He's a respected coach. I don't think anyone would consider him elite, but he's a long-time respected guy.
Yeah, so I'm good with him over JJ Redick. Number 6, Joe Mazzulla of the Boston Celtics. Now we can kind of hold on that one because the argument's going to be, well, you won a championship, and I think your point was like you could literally just roll out anybody for last year's Boston team and they could get it done. Now, you can't necessarily fault him as much this year. You can use the Tatum and the injury, but like, dude's going to have to figure out how to win without shooting 63s if he's going to continue to rise up this list. So he's number 6. Number 5 is Chris Finch, longtime coach, and with Minnesota. Got to the Western Conference Finals back-to-back years. Hasn't quite figured out how to get over that hump, but a nice head coach. Number 4, Nick Nurse of Philadelphia. He did win an NBA Finals championship with the Raptors, right?
Yeah, he sure did.
Yeah. So he's at 4. 3 is Mark Daigneault of the Oklahoma City Thunder. I could probably switch Nurse to 3 and Daigneault to 4 here.
You could make that argument. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you could.
2 is Steve Kerr of the Golden State Warriors, obviously multiple titles, and Eric Spoelstra, number 1, also multiple titles. So I'll let you explain and you can talk about how you think you did.
Like I said, I think if there was one area that you could probably talk me out of here, it would be that Nick Nurse, Mark Daigneault section. But however, I'm going with a coach who is in the NBA Finals as we speak. Just led his team to a 68-win season. But I think the main thing here is that you want to make sure you get the top right and you get the bottom right. I feel great about the bottom. That's exactly who I would want. Chauncey Billups and whatever his face is on Memphis. And then I took a risk by putting Steve Kerr at 2. I said there's a very, very small amount of people that I would take ahead of Steve Kerr, just given the track record. But the name that came to my mind was Eric Spoelstra. And Eric Spoelstra, is he now the longest tenured coach in the NBA now that pops out?
It sounds right. That sounds right.
Yeah. So he's got a couple rings. He's incredibly respected. He sort of strikes me as like the Mike Tomlin of the NBA, where kind of no matter who you throw out there, you know that they're going to be competitive, even if it means like, hey, we're going to end up with the 16th pick rather than probably a top 10 pick that we need. But like, guys just come in, they buy into the culture. Like him and Pat Riley have worked really, really hard to establish that. Like he was able to just get thrown LeBron James and Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade as a first-time head coach, and they went to 4 straight finals.
Right.
Like not every coach can just handle that. Like it's hard. Like David Blatt, they thought they could do it in Cleveland. David Blatt lasted all year, if that. So yeah, Eric Spoelstra, I think is certainly the top coach in the NBA, and he'll be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I'll go to my NFL ones now. Number 10, I went with Wonder Boy Ben Johnson. I'm blanking on first names tonight. It's getting late for me. I was up early. Ben Johnson, 10 from the Chicago Bears. Again, rookie head coach. Never seen him coach in the NFL. Obviously, did a nice job as a coordinator, but the jury's still out, so we'll see. Number 9, Callahan. Just tell me first names so I don't have to sound
Brian Callahan.
Brian Callahan, Tennessee Titans. Also, kind of not sure what we're getting out of that one. So you could have an argument between 10 and 9, but I don't think it matters here.
I mean, they had the worst record in football.
Yeah. So he could probably be 10, but he at least has 1 year under his belt as opposed to Wonder Boy. Number 8.
Is it Wonder Boy? Is it Wonder Boy or Boy Wonder? I thought it was Boy Wonder that we were going
Boy Wonder's fine with me. Boy Wonder's fine.
Right.
Number 8's Todd Bowles, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I don't know if he's 8. He could probably get pushed up this list. I don't know. I kind of feel like he's like the Joe Mazzulla of coaching here. Like, he's fine, but I don't know if he's like if he like pushes anything over, if he pushes the envelope over the top, like if he's a difference maker, or he's just like he's a leader. Cliche-ish, he might be a leader of men, which I'm not under appreciating. But I just don't know how good of a coach he is. He, obviously he's won some. He's had some good talent, but I'll put him at 8. I mean, I could probably argue that he could be ahead of the number 7, which is Mike McDonald of the Miami Dolphins. McDaniel. Sorry, I wrote.
There is a Mike McDonald. I think that's the Seahawks coach.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I got Dolphins coach here. I mean, he's another guy where, like, how good of a coach is he? Like, I should probably, if I was redoing it, I'd probably put Todd Bowles ahead of him.
If this was 2 years ago, I think that we have a conversation about Mike McDaniel as a top 5 on this list. And I personally think this is going to be his last year in Miami. That's just me.
Yeah. I mean, so yes, I would probably like to put, if I was literally doing it for serious and ranking 1 through 10, I'd move Bowles up to 7 and McDaniel down to 8. But I'd flip those two. Number 6, I'm good here. Dan Quinn. I do think Dan Quinn is higher level than McDaniel or Bowles. So Dan Quinn of the Washington Commanders seems to be a strong coach. I don't know if he's been a great coach, but strong. I mean, he's got some. He's put. I mean, what he did with Washington this last year was pretty impressive.
He almost won a Super Bowl in Atlanta.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah,
he's strong.
Matt LaFleur is number 5. I actually could probably move Dan Quinn ahead of Matt LaFleur, to be honest with you.
I don't know if Matt LaFleur is good. I know he's not bad, but I don't know if he's good. But I honestly think that's perfect. Then you have him at 5. That's probably the right spot for him.
Well, he was the first one you asked me. Matt LaFleur was the first guy you asked me, and I'm like 5 because I don't know how good he is. I know he's not bad. I know he's not great. I hope there's guys that can fill on both sides, and there was.
Yeah.
And honestly, Dan Quinn at 6, I could probably put him at 4 because Taylor from Cincinnati is next. He's 4. I mean, and kind of Taylor LaFleur, like, I'm not sure. Taylor went to a Super Bowl, Zach Taylor. Yeah. But like between those 3, Taylor, LaFleur, Quinn, what ranking are you going there? You got to put 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6. Where are you going?
1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6. I probably put Taylor 6. I do LaFleur 5. I do Quinn 4.
I think so too. So those 3 are obviously in opposite order from my blind rankings. Number 3, I got Nick Sirianni. I mean, won a Super Bowl. Yeah, I mean, won a Super Bowl and been to another. So
he's Nick Sirianni is the Joe Mazzulla of the NFL.
Yeah,
just weird guy. Clearly he's not bad, but like I feel like anyone could do your job. I feel like he's someone that gets on his players' nerves too, just from being himself.
Yeah, I can see that.
And his face, like his face too, as we've talked about often on the show,
Yeah.
is amongst the most punchable in all of sports. Anyway, sorry, continue.
I mean, John McDermott's 2 on my list. I'm not sure he's actually the second best coach here, right? Like, this was hard, right? Like, but who do you move to 2? Is Dan Quinn 2? I don't think so. Is Nick Sirianni 2? You clearly don't think so. Who is the second best coach on my list? I mean, let me throw that back to you. Who is the second best coach on this list?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, McDermott is fairly consistent, but also I feel like if Josh Allen was removed from the Buffalo Bills tomorrow, they would instantly become a 4-win team. Now you could say that about like the Chiefs too. Like the Chiefs lost Patrick Mahomes. You know, Andy Reid's a great coach. They're not going to be very good either. So it's a little bit unfair, but I mean McDermott's fine. He's fine. I don't think that like if he okay, this is probably a better question. If Sean McDermott became a free agent coach tomorrow, how many coaches do you think would be like, well shit, we got to replace our coach with Sean McDermott?
Yeah.
Like that's sort of the barometer, right? For if a coach is actually good, right? Like what are the chances that teams are going to be lining up to hire him if he was fired by the Bills like after the season?
Yeah, I mean, good point. There are a few that obviously would or should.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm not sure any of these guys on this list that they're going to replace him with.
Yeah. It's tough.
Like
he's definitely top 5 amongst the list that you have. But like, is he better than LaFleur? Is he better than Quinn? Like, it's tough. It's tough. No, I purposely tried to give you hard names to work with.
The jury's out on a lot of these guys. Number one, then is Jim Harbaugh. And you got Jim Harbaugh, who's only been back in the NFL 1 year. So are you basing this off his previous stint, his college stint? Obviously what he did with the Chargers, he's improved on, but like, where's he going to get to next? Is he going to be able to get them over the hump? So I don't know. But my list was Harbaugh, McDermott, Sirianni, Taylor, LaFleur, Quinn, McDaniel, Bowles, Callahan, Johnson. I don't know how I did, but I mean, I didn't bomb it. I definitely didn't bomb this, which is, I think, the goal when you gave me that LaFleur at 5. Like, where do I put him? I'm okay with it.
Yeah. No, I think all things considered, you gave me I think easier names to work with. I definitely gave you some tough names, but I think you navigated it very well. So gold stars for both of us.
The NBA, when you're good, you stay good longer, or you have the potential of staying good longer. NFL is one of those, like, you get your chance and you may not get another chance for a while. Most of the time, not always. Obviously the Patriots, Chiefs, there's some there, but like, yeah. So yeah, that was a fun contest. We'll have to bring it up again as the summer goes along.
All right, shall we move on?
Oh, we should. Let's talk golf, right?
I have to say something.
Yeah.
Now, I'm all in favor of golfers being challenged in majors.
Yeah.
I think the high scoring, 17 under, 18 under types of tournaments, whilst it's fun to see birdies, at some point you got to be like, hey, I thought this was supposed to be challenging. Especially at the US Open. And the US Open historically is considered the toughest of the majors.
Yeah.
That said, whatever is happening at Oakmont Country Club in preparation for the tournament this week is just a flat out abomination. The things that I'm seeing at this golf course are so horrifying that I don't see how the winning score is better than like 2 under.
Right.
And I'm being hopeful that we get 2 under, because there's a lot of golfers right now, great players. When pressed about it, would you take even par this week? They said, oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
Their goal is to shoot even par for a 4-day tournament at this course. That is terrifying.
Yeah.
Have you seen the videos that are going around social media?
Yeah.
The some of the putting on these greens. Have you seen these?
Yeah, I saw the one where wasn't it John? Was it Ron? He like basically hit it and then it came rolling down the hill.
Yeah, where he tapped it. He's 90 he's facing a totally different direction from the hole, like 90-degree turn. He taps it, and then it just turns, and then it rolls, and it rolls right by the hole, and it just keeps going. I saw another one where the first hole, there's a long lead up into the green. A guy is 122 yards out from the green, and he breaks out his putter and gives it a nice putt, and it just rolls all the way down the fairway, all the way up the green. I'm sorry. There is no world where if you are 122 yards away from the flag, you are putting.
Yeah, it's gonna be
That's
wild.
not a golf course. That's not a golf course. Like that is not a golf course. That is a hellscape.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, we'll get to like how we pick winners and get to our team here in a minute, but I think you're gonna have to find guys that can keep their temperament, which is so wild because when I give my pick, you're going to be like, "What are you talking about?" Because it's not Scotty. It's not going to be Scotty Scheffler.
No, I know who it's literally. It's one of two guys that I know that you're going to take just based on that clue.
Do you? Okay, yeah, just based off that clue. I was going to say because it's not a guy I've went with before, but it's a guy I have a suspicion on that I think is going to do well. But he obviously is going to have to keep his temperament and something he hasn't always done in the past. So, all
right,
yes,
all right. There are three names that come to my head. All of them are live golfers. Is it a live golfer?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Okay. Has this person won a major before?
Yeah, he has.
He has. Has he won the U.S. Open?
Yes.
Are you just taking Bryson DeChambeau to repeat?
No, I'm taking Jon Rahm.
Did Jon Rahm win a U.S. Open? I don't know if he won a U.S. Open.
Or did he get that wrong?
He won. Maybe. Yeah, he won the Masters.
Yeah.
And I think he won. I think he won the Open Championship.
Am I okay? I was thinking he did.
Jon Rahm was the third. I had DeChambeau, Jon Rahm, and Tyrrell Hatton in my head as one of those three guys that I was like, oh
no, yeah, Jon Rahm won the Masters in 2023 and the U.S. Open in 2021.
Okay, so U.S. Open 2021. My apologies there. Okay, yes. So Jon Rahm.
But also back in 2016, Jon Rahm was the low amateur at this event, at this course in Oakmont. That was 9 years ago. So like what he did then is not necessarily going to happen. The course looks different now, but I'm going to take John. My pick is going to be Jon Rahm, only because I can't just say Scotty Scheffler, although it's probably going to be Scotty Scheffler. That just feels too lazy. I need like a thrill. Like if I pick Scotty Scheffler and he wins, I'm not going to be all that excited. I don't know. I don't know. Is Scotty Scheffler going to be excited? I don't know if I'll be excited. So I'm going to go Jon Rahm. I'm
going to give you a take. I think Scotty Scheffler, if he wins a major and wins millions of dollars, is going to be excited. Call me crazy. I think that he's going to be. He's not just going to be like, another day at the old course. I think he's going to be pretty pumped that he's now one major away from completing the career slam. Personally.
Yeah, and can do it this summer. I'm going to go Jon Rahm 12-1 as my pick to win the U.S. Open, his second U.S. Open.
Did you know that hole 8 at Oakmont? It's a par 3. It's 289 yards.
Okay.
Like, what the hell are we doing, man?
It's a different course, man. It's
I can't get over this course. And we haven't even talked about the rough. That I know that they trimmed it back a little bit, but I mean, you drop a ball in there and it's lost. Like you'll never see it again. You'll never see it again.
Never.
I don't know how these guys are going to play, and I would love to see how you and I would do out there, just for a round, just to see how it goes.
Well, I mean, Jon Rahm literally was like there's dudes that would not finish this course. He's like not necessarily
No.
as professionals,
No.
but he's like
No.
people want to talk about, you know, the struggles or he's ever. He's like, I want to see them come out here and then they're just not going to finish. Like,
Yeah.
because somebody asked him, the media asked him if he lived there, if he would be a member of this course. And of course he was like, you know, his answer was like, oh, sure, yes, but I wouldn't play here every day. He's like, there's no way I'm playing here every day.
No.
I
was looking into it.
Yeah,
it's
not to bash Oakmont, but just basically, no, it's too difficult, and I don't want to deal with this every day.
I was looking into it. So the rules are, it's walking only, because they have like a whole caddy program. It's walking only, and they are very, very strict that your round should take no longer than 4 hours. So if you walk that course at a 20-something handicap, I think we both are, did we get done in 4 hours? Not a chance.
No.
Not a chance. No chance. No way.
No chance.
Took me like 2 hours and 40 minutes today at Pine Lakes with a cart. Like, you're thinking walking Oakmont no, sir.
Chance.
No, sir.
No chance.
All right, let's do a lineup here. You'll be happy to know, Rodney, after you gave me some crap a couple weeks ago, I do officially have an entry in the PGA 600,000 Drive the Green contest. A $5. I have two. I have one entry that's just for me, and I have one entry that's going to be what we put together tonight. And because I'm feeling extra generous, you're going to get the first pick.
Well, I'm picking John Rahm at $10,200. So you go to DraftKings, and this is for the people that don't follow every time. So you go to DraftKings, you put a fantasy team out there, and Scotty Scheffler's the most expensive at $14,400. It goes down to 12.4 with Rory McIlroy, 11,000 Bryson, Xander Schauffele at 10.4, and then John Rahm at 10.2. He's the fifth most expensive. He has a streak of top 20, top 10s, and he has, and I know it's live and it's a smaller field, and he actually addressed this, but he's gone like 10 straight or something silly like that. It's even more than that, I think. But he's gone a lot in a row. So even if he doesn't win this event, now he is the fifth highest price, but he gets a top 10, top 5 finish. He's not going to kill us here. I'll take John Rahm at 10,000. What did I say? 10,200. John Rahm's my pick.
All right. I like that. I mean, for 4,000 less than Scotty Scheffler, makes sense. All right. So I'm going to go with a budget guy right off the board and see if we can play around with some of the more expensive guys later. By the way, did you notice that we have some guys that are priced under 6,000 this week? We're back in the 5,000s, which is fun.
They're basically saying, yes, please take them. Please take these guys. These are like the amateurs, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of slop there. I'm not gonna go that far down. I'm gonna go 7,400, and I'm gonna take Russell Henley, who it's a little risky because he actually hasn't played well at the last two majors. I think he missed a cut at both the Masters and the PGA, which isn't great. But he's super accurate off the tee, which based on the rough and the bunkers on the, like, you need to be, like, you got to be accurate. You will not win if you're not accurate. He's still top 20 in the tour and approach and tee to green, and also has a pretty good course history here. He's played well and has played well historically at U.S. Open. So hoping that we can get like a good top 12 performance out of Russell Henley at 7,400, just to, guy that if he makes the cut, should be accurate off the tee, and we'll see what can happen. So at 7,400 too, I like the value.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go around the same price range, which gives us a little bit of money to work with in the last three guys. I'm going to go with the guy that just finished runner-up at the Canadian Open, was 12th at the Memorial, 19th at the PGA Championship, 46th at the Masters. Not great, but made the cut. Make the cut, okay. Because that's one thing we look for too, is like, make the cut. That's. I mean, if we get 6 out of 6, we got a shot. So I'm gonna go Sam Burns at 7,100 here. I like the way Sam's been playing. Is a solid golfer, a little bit underrated. I will go Sam Burns at 7,100, and which that gives us 84.33 over our last three guys.
Did you know Sam Burns, by the way? I like that pick. Did you know Sam Burns right now is number 1 in strokes gained putting on the PGA Tour this season? He is the best putter on the tour, which I feel like might come in handy based on these greens.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping he can play solid enough, make the cut, and get us a. I mean, okay, I'm not going to go through and scroll through how many guys are ahead of him, but a top 25 finish for Sam Burns, and we're probably happy here.
All right. I'm going to go with someone who I know you and I have both played quite a bit in our time. We love this guy. I think a lot of people want him to succeed. How about 8,800 for Tommy Fleetwood?
Okay.
Fleet Nation, who, again, pretty good track record here. He's finished top 5 in the U.S. Open 3 times. He's super balanced. Pretty much like even if there's nothing that he does that's like, amazing, he does everything pretty well. So I think he can stay competitive. And that really, like, this is one of those tournaments where it seems like, hey, you don't need to go out there and just be a birdie machine. Just like, don't screw up. Just like, don't tank your round. And I feel like he could be one of those guys where we're going to look at the end and be like, oh, he finished in the top 5 at even par.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, I like that.
Yeah, and I like him. I like him a lot. So yeah, I'll go Tommy at 88, and that leaves us 2 more spots here. Average of 8,250.
Oh, so Dustin Johnson's available at 6,700,
but
will not.
I swear to God,
will not be on our team.
He did win. He did win 2016. The last time that the U.S. Open was here, he did win at 4 under. That was also 9 years ago.
Yeah. I could have both the I have 2 champions there with Rahm and Dustin Johnson.
I will quit if you put Dustin Johnson in our lineup again.
I mean, yeah, no. So if I was able to cut out the PGA Championship from his recent form, a guy I would look at here is a veteran of Jason Day. I don't know as if I love him after his 107th place finish at the PGA Championship. That's not great. He was better at the Masters. He finished 8th.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Basically what I'm looking at here is if I go with somebody like Jason Day, you have a potential of taking a top 7 or 8 guy with the money we have left. If I don't
let me ask you this. If you don't love Jason Day, but you want to stay in that range, do you like Jason Day more than Patrick Reed? I know that you have a love-hate relationship with Patrick Reed. I think we all do.
So my issue with Patrick Reed, and yes, I am the same guy that took John Rahm here, is can he keep his temperament?
Yeah.
Can Patrick Reed keep his temperament? Honestly, before you even said that, I was considering Patrick Reed. He's another guy where his 93rd place finish at the PGA Championship doesn't really bode all that well, but he's finished well in the live golf events. You know what? Let's go Patrick Reed. We're going. I think we're gonna have a couple guys here that maybe are under-owned. I don't know. What Patrick Reed going to be under-owned? I'll go Patrick Reed. Yeah, I'm okay with it. He was one of the ones I was considering. I like him more than Day. I'll go Patrick Reed. You got 9,600 left.
9,600. I want to see what his what Patrick Reed's ownership might be. I got something that shows like ownership projections right now. I don't know how accurate it'll be. So Patrick Reed probably sitting, at least according to this, at about 5.5% owned.
I mean, top 30 finish for Patrick Reed, and we're in good shape, right?
Yeah. I mean, Jason Day's 6%. So
yeah.
Okay. So Patrick Reed. So that leaves us one more spot here. So I have 9,600 to work with.
Yeah.
So Ludwig Oberg, so that's who you picked for PGA.
Yeah, didn't go all that well.
Didn't go well. But that's okay. Played well at the Masters, but I feel like it's like, it's a major, but I feel like like Augusta and then whatever Oakmont is are 2 totally different things.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So like they're not at all similar courses. So let's see. So we got Oberg at 96. Patrick can't. You know what? I feel like I've seen a lot of love for Patrick Cantlay. What's his recent form been? So Patrick
100,
Cantlay,
107th at the PGA, but the PGA, a lot of dudes missed this cut. Like it
a
was
lot of a
hard.
lot of people are bad. Yeah. What's the only thing that scares me? Because honestly, like Cantlay's recent form has been pretty good. I think his course history and like correlated courses to what Oakmont is, that style, I think it fits, honestly, the Cantlay profile. The one downside, and this is something that we talked about, I think a week or two ago. Like, you know how Scotty Scheffler, even when he's not on it, he's always sort of in it. Like he
Yeah,
never has the disaster round. Patrick Cantlay can very easily shoot an 81 and
yeah.
just totally be out of contention. Um, so it's a risk, especially for a guy that's 9,300. But like you look at everyone else, Oberg, I think I just I don't know if I like the lack of experience in these types of tournaments. Justin Thomas, I feel like is so just he's so hit or miss.
Yeah.
Like he's too hit or
Yeah.
miss. And then
I
you
mean,
get
he's got it.
Neiman and Hovland and
Justin
go ahead.
Thomas shot an 80 in round 1 at the Memorial and a 69 in round 2. Like,
It's a perfect description of him. It's a
yeah.
perfect description. Um, I'll take Patrick Cantlay, and I'm willing to accept the consequences if it doesn't go well. But
Yeah,
I think that for this course for the U.S. Opens, I think he works pretty well for the U.S. Opens.
I mean, we're definitely a boomer bust lineup here because like
Yeah.
Rom, Reed, and Cantlay could all just completely implode. And if they do, we lose. But they obviously all three have been very have found steadiness and found ways to compete. So yeah, I like this team. We're leaving 300 on the table. Sam Burns, Patrick Cantlay, Tommy Fleetwood, Russell Henley, John Rahm, Patrick Reed, and it's not a typical Rodney Tim lineup.
No, like there's definitely some hints of Rodney Tim in there, like some whiffs, like undertones, but for the most part, like no, a Rodney Tim lineup normally would have one or both of Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth.
Yep.
It would have Tony Finau.
Yep.
There would be some old washed up golfer, whether it be a Dustin Johnson or Phil Mickelson.
Yep.
Yeah, and then take your pick for the other guys. We have a rotation, but like we've played, like you and I have played Fleetwood quite a bit.
Yeah.
We've played Patrick Reed. Usually it's like against our will, but we've done. I'm okay with it this time around. John Rahm, I feel like John Rahm is gonna make our tournament or just piss us off beyond comprehension.
Yeah. I mean, I'm all in with him now. He's my pick to win it, and now he's on this team. Yeah. So I'm going to put a few more lineups together tomorrow, but I might as well just go all in with John Rahm. So that is
I'm
our
looking at
team.
Yeah, I was just going to say. So Patrick Cantlay, I'm looking. So knock on wood here. I've probably jinxed it, but Patrick Cantlay has never missed a U.S. Open cut. And he has finished top 15 or better 4 years in a row, including third last year. Now, obviously, what that means. Yeah. Did you hear me? Do you get me?
Yeah, I got you. Sorry. I don't know what happened there. We
no, I was just
say that real quick again.
No, I was just saying. So Patrick Cantlay, knock on wood here, has never missed a U.S. Open cut. He's finished top 15 4 straight years, including third last year. Naturally, that means that he's going to shoot a 92 on Thursday. That said, it's clear, like of all the majors, this one seems to be one that he is accustomed to it, accustomed to the slop. So see what happens. But I like the lineup, man. I really do. And that should scare people, but I like it more than our PGA one. Our PGA one, we knew from the get-go it was gross. And it was. Yeah. So
it was. And it ended gross. Yeah. So there we go. Shall we wrap up with a quick Mount Rushmores of 73?
Yeah, let's do it. We've gone long. Apologies, but I hope that you were thoroughly entertained by our ramblings about golf. So what do we got for 73? So what's the first thing in all of sports you think of with 73?
The home is that what Bonds ended up at?
Yeah. Like that's the only there's not a single person's like jersey that comes to mind with 73, but it's just like Bonds. Like it's just Bonds.
Yeah. I mean we could just put his face on it. and just say, none of the rest do. Adbert Azole from the Chicago Cubs spent 6 years wearing a 73. Ricardo Rincon spent 11 years. Neither one of those guys belong in the Mount Rushmore.
Well, if you ask Billy Bean, Ricardo Rincon certainly does. That was the big Moneyball acquisition at the trade deadline. Did you ever watch Moneyball movie?
Yeah, but we're not asking Billy Bean.
All right. Looking at hockey here, I feel like hockey's going to be our best bet. Charlie McAvoy, good defenseman, Boston Bruins. Tyler Toffoli, Stanley Cup winner with the Kings. He's played for 7 teams.
Yeah.
Can you put someone on the Mount Rushmore who's played for 7 teams?
Yeah, I don't know about that. No, I don't think you can.
Yeah. So NFL, we have John Hanna, who was a Hall of Fame guard for New England back in the 70s and 80s. We have Jari Evans, former New Orleans Saints guard. Larry Allen, pretty good, Hall of Famer. Dallas Cowboy, another guard. Joe Thomas, the Cleveland Browns Hall of Famer, the left tackle. So it's just like we can't just be like, 73, it's terrible when like Larry Allen and Joe Thomas are on the list. So how about this?
Hold on 1 second. Did you know Dennis Rodman wore it for 1 year with your Lakers?
I did not know that he wore 73. That is, and he's the only player ever in NBA history to wear 73.
Ever.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay, Rodney. What do we do with this list here? Because I feel like Joe Thomas and Larry Allen are worthy of being on the Rushmore.
Sure. And then, there's Charlie McAvoy, and who is the other NHL? Well,
we could go Marshall Yanda. We could go John Hanna. We can go Jari Evans. Any one of those that inspires you?
None of them inspire me. I don't know. Pick one.
All right. I'm going to make an executive decision. We're going to go Allen, Thomas, Yanda, Evans. 4 offensive linemen. Just make it real meaty, real grimy. I don't want Charlie McAvoy on my Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. Great big fat faces. There you go.
Well, Joe Thomas is skinny face now.
That's true. That was the most uninspiring Mount Rushmore we've ever done.
Oh, we've done worse.
It's also past the hour and we got to get out of here, but probably we've done worse, but like this one was the most like, I don't care about this one. We're just going to move on.
Just
like others at least were this bad, but we like spent a lot of time on it. This one we're like, you know what? We're just moving on. So maybe it's me. Maybe I moved on.
Preview for Friday though is 74. I would not be surprised if the now retired TJ Oshie is a face on the 74 Mount Rushmore.
Dan says definitely had worse Mount Rushmore. Some of the 50s and 60s. You're right.
The 60s were much worse. We had multiple 60s that were way worse than what we just did. Yeah, I think Rodney's just tired. I think that's what happened.
Let's get to sign up for Substack. If you need to get picks, get those in Substack. Go to Substack, find Stupid Sports Show. You get picks every day into your inbox. Right around 500 for the month and well above for the year. So do that. Follow us on Twitter at Stupid Sports Show. No W on the end. It is Twitter, not X. And that should about do it for the show today.
I'm trying to find your picks for today. Did you give winners?
Did it not come in the inbox? Should be.
No, they're probably there. I just was just trying to find them in the inbox here.
Well, it's kind of a slow day. I had the Blue Jays. They beat the Cardinals. So
did they?
Yeah. Sorry, Phillies. Cubs beat the Phillies. Yeah. I don't remember who I had, but I'll have to pull it out. I'm pretty sure it got sent out. I saw it go sent out, but anyways.
Did you have the Yankees over the Royals?
I don't think I took that game, no.
10-2 today for the Bombers.
Congrats.
Thank you. Means a lot. By the way, if you want to listen to any of our 73 episodes of the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth, You can do so, Spotify, Apple, iHeart, wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure to like, rate, review, subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe. Pump up those numbers. Let's defeat McAfee. Let's dominate the sports media industry before football season. It's coming up. So we got a couple months to become Titans. I feel like we're on a slow pace, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Got to beef up those numbers, though. So, good show today. Good show. I really like our lineup. I really do, and I actually think it's going to compete.
Are we gonna? Yeah, like we've got to bring the enthusiasm when Thursday morning gets here. Like we can't go into this and just be like, oh, get to Friday and be like, yeah, we're not doing very well. Like it starts with our first golfer Thursday morning. Like I'll get the text going to you. I'll get the text out there. Like we're gonna live and die by these shots. We're going to celebrate pars because that's goodness. We're going to literally lose our minds over birdies. But I think we've got to do a better job of bringing the enthusiasm for this event.
We're going to bring the boom. Our first golfer is Tommy Fleetwood at 6:18 a.m. Central Time. You'll be wide awake ready for that. I'm actually flying on Thursday. Not to ruin the enthusiasm, but if I don't respond immediately to your texts, that's why.
Have a good flight.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. But we do have, so we got Tommy early on. We have who else? I don't know. You can look it up later. We got Cantlay. We got Cantlay at 6:51 a.m. So a couple big ones for us real early.
Oh yeah, I'll be ready to go. I'll be up by 6, ready to see those first tee offs, and we're gonna do well. We're gonna do well.
I think so too. I really do. Just as long as we're better than Skeeter, that's what I want. Like he's vacationing. He's just lounging by a pool. If he burps out a lineup that is top 100 on Sunday, I'm gonna be so pissed off.
Right. Yeah.
We work hard.
Enjoy the sun, Skeeter. I hope you don't get too burnt, though, buddy.
Yeah. Definitely. We're going golfing next week, so I need him tip-top shape.
Yeah.
No sunburns. Yeah, all that. All right. Well, anyway, let's get out of here. This was a fun show. We'll do it again Friday morning. For Rodney Newple, this is Tim the Big Easy Van Stratton signing off for another edition of the stupidest sports show on earth. See you guys. Step right up, dummies, and listen to the stupidest sports show on earth with Rodney Newple and Tim Van Stratton. Yeah.